So there you go, that's our aloo gobi made. Just look at that. That is absolutely sensational, come on. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Rick. Today, aloo gobi. Aloo gobi, potatoes and cauliflower. And we've got a lot here. We're making a big pan full. Let's crack on and do it, come on. Now we are going to be cooking with mustard oil, okay? So we want about 3 tablespoons. 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard oil in there. Now you heat it up and what you do, it burns off a few of the fumes, but it's leaving a unique flavour in the pan. However, you don't have to use mustard oil. You can just use veg oil. Not a problem. Okay, we got a little bit of smoke going on there. In there, those cumin seeds. A little bit of crackly poppy there, look. That's what we're after. As soon as they start popping and that like that, in there with your onion. Nice little swirl round, come on. Take your time with the onion, a little bit translucent, a little bit golden. We don't have to burn it. In there, a little bit of green chilli. Let's have that in. Clear yourself a space. We want to be going in there with some garlic ginger paste. Now, some people use just ginger. I like garlic ginger paste in here. Garlic ginger paste, garlic ginger, 50-50. Blend it up. A little bit of water, a little bit of oil. Nice little bring in. We're cooking out the rawness of this garlic ginger. Now there are so many ways to actually cook this dish, you know. When we get to the spices, people put fennel seeds and things in, ajwain, anything, you know. We're not doing it that way, but you know you can. Nice and steady, look, we don't have to rush this, come on. Now we've got a couple of chopped tomatoes there, we're going to have those in. Tomatoes are optional, you know, some people put them in, some don't. Some people just put a couple of quartered tomatoes in towards the end. So what we're doing now is cooking the tomatoes till they go a little bit mushy, you know. In there, a little bit of salt. That's going to release all that moisture. A little stir on. Okay, we can start to put our spices in there. I'll go in there with a little bit of turmeric. In there. A little bit of Kashmiri chili powder. A little bit of ground cumin. Going in there with a touch of hing. And we're going to give that a nice little move in there, you know. Just bring it in nice and gently. You don't have to rush this at all. In fact, it's advisable not to rush cooking the spices. And as you can see, the flame is really low. Bring it in. Just give it a little bit more on there. So we're going in there with our potatoes. They're going in first. I'm going to give that a little stir through. Now I've cut these quite big, look, as you can see, because I want to see potatoes in my dish, you know. And what we're going to do is put a splash of water in here, put the lid on, and we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add the cauliflower. Okay, many people cook it all differently, don't worry. Let's just make it easy for us. So we want to go in there with a little splash of water. Want to turn up the flame a little bit. Now this is not going to be a wet dish as such. It's not going to have a gravy in. All this fluid is going to cook off, but it's going to help cook these potatoes in here. You know, we don't want rock hard potatoes, do we? You know, some people will argue it's better to put boiling water in. Why? It's not slowing down any cooking. All we've done is cooked spices and onion. It's already come to a boiling, look. So we'll just bring it up to a boil and we'll turn it down and we'll stick a lid on. Okay, that's what we want to be seeing in there. Bubble and bubble. Stick a lid on and we're going to cook that for about 8 to 10 minutes. In that 8 to 10 minutes, just give it a little stir. We don't want anything catching on the bottom. Okay, when you've had about 8 to 10 minutes, you'll have a little bit of fluid in there like that, look. Not much. In there, cauliflower. And just give that a little mix in. We're going to splash some more water in here. You know, some people like to cook it dry like this, put a little bit of browning on the cauliflower and then carry on. You know, that's optional. It's up to you what you want to do. If you want to put a little bit of browning on the cauliflower, put it on. So that's quite dry now, look. We're going to splash a little bit of water in. Again, they're all going to say boiling water. Not bothered. It'll be boiling in a second. Okay, that's nicely. And we stick a lid on. And we cook for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes tops. And we're just going to give it a little stir. When you've had your 8 to 10 minutes, we can turn the flame off and we want to just be going in there with a little bit of garam masala over the top. Now I've got some amchur powder, which is dry mango powder. Again, just a little bit over there. You don't have to go much on this. Just we're going to squirt over some lemon in there, some coriander. And we're just going to give that a nice little mix through. And we've got a fantastic aloo gobi. That is amazing. Aloo gobi made. All we got to do now is serve it up. So before we serve this, we just want a little bit of fresh lemon over there. That's going to give us a little zing on the top. Oh, it smells wonderful. In there. A little bit of coriander on there. Oh yeah. So there you go, that's our aloo gobi made. Just look at that. That is absolutely sensational, come on. There we have it, a fantastic easy cook. Oh yeah. Delicious. Oh. That is exceptional. Nice little bit of chili kick. You got that little bit of sourness there from the mango powder and the lemon. Oh, it's delightful. Really is delightful. I love that. Cauliflower well cooked. Fork goes in, still got a bit of crunch in there. That's delicious. Potatoes, again the same. Exactly the same. Nice little bit of crunch in there. Cooked all the way through. And eat with a bit of roti. A little bit of paratha. Fantastic. That is a really, really nice dish. One of the most ordered dishes around the world, as it happens. So there you go. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make aloo gobi. Cauliflower and potatoes, really easy. If you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah. That is amazing.